So the first thing that I need to do to make my giant cardboard Rubik's Cube that I am going to make, I needed to find some cardboard. So I went into our attic and I found a bunch of cardboard boxes. So as I was going around, I know that I need 8 corners, 12 edges, 6 centers, and then of course the centerpiece. But then I also had to find the 8 edges and the 12 corners. So I saw this box and I saw, well, I don't want to make it super big so that it can't like fit in my room or something because I want to display it. So I figured that looking at this box, it's a square box, and looking at this edge, I can just cut this into 4ths and make 8 corners out of this box. So then I needed to find another box for my edges. So I was thinking they need to be the same size, so I could find another box like this one. So I have this one, which could make potentially 8 frames-ish for the edges. So then I need to find another box just like it. So here's another box, so that's another 8 edges if I really need it. And then I will need some extra extending cardboard boxes. So I figured to try to get the best ones, maybe some big ones, and so I wanted to get an idea of how big it would be. And so I found this, which is a costume that I made last Halloween for 2018, and it's my Rubik's Cube costume. And so I was looking at it, and I saw that the corners on here are basically the same size as what the corners will be. So I'm guessing that the 3x3 will be a little bit bigger than this cube. And so yeah. So now that I've done planning, I now am going to mark off where I'm going to cut for the corners. So I am making it as the box as even as possible, and then I'm using a ruler to mark the Sharpie of each end so that the box is symmetrical. So I'm going through and I'm marking off halfway, which is where I'm going to cut for the corners. So after that, I finished marking off all the corners, and I now have all the lines of where I'm going to cut on the box. So now, let's get to cutting. I found that it was easier to cut when it was on top of a box, so that it could have some stability to it. So just like that, we have the outline of our corner. As you can see, this is basically 1/8 of the box. So basically, I'm just going to end up making a bunch more of these, and then I can tape them together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to trim all of it to make them an exact dimension on everything so that I can make them all symmetrical. And then I'm going to get some black duct tape and put a border on it to make it look good, so that then in the future we can add a sticker to it, or colored paper. So I began the process again by doing the same thing I did with the last one. So now I took all of the corners and I duct taped them a little bit so that I got a corner, and so now they're all hooked together, and you can see I've got a double lapped right there where it is. So now I have 8 corner pieces. So now I'm going to make the edge pieces. So now I just realized that if I put on this piece, put it back on, I realized that it's going to be a certain dimension, and if I do that with all of the ones, it's going to be wrong because some of them aren't going to be the same. So now at this point, I'm going to have to pick a dimension for my cube, and so I'm going to cut them down to 8 inches and equal width and length and height so that they're all symmetrical. So now I'm going to do that, and I'm going to cut all my corners down to 8 inches, and then I'm going to do the edges one at a time.